What's up, guys? Simone Fan 101 here, and this is my Backlash review. I'm trying not to be as loud this time because my sister's trying to put my niece down for a nap. I also got a few chips with me. So, let's get this out of the way right now. I thought this was a pretty damn good pay-per-view, maybe even a great pay-per-view. So let's just start off, shall we? We had Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan come out on the show and basically promote the show. And of course, it was a nice little, bit talking segment, them promoting the WWE title match, the tag team championship tournament matches, and then Shane McMahon said, but right now, we're going to get to the Women's Championship Six-Pack Challenge, which consisted of Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Carmella, Natalya, Naomi, and Nikki Bella. And this is going to be a six-pack elimination challenge. We only had one other six-pack elimination challenge in WWE before, and that was back at Night of Champions 2010 when it was Sheamus defending the WWE title against John Cena, Randy Orton, Wade Barrett, who was the leader of Nexus at the time, Edge, and Chris Jericho. This was actually a decently good match. Alexa was eliminated first. And by the way, when Alexa came out, she's got this little mini gimmick. She's basically she looks kind of like Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad, and she may be the shortest of the women there. God damn, is Alexa Bliss the hottest? Damn, though those two ponytails, they make her hot somehow. But Alexa Bliss was eliminated first after a double team move by I think it was Nikki Bella and Naomi. It may have been Natalya and Naomi, but one of them went for a powerbomb move, and Naomi went for like a flying neck breaker almost. It looked cool, I will say, for the women. Naomi pinned Alexa 1, 2, 3. Speaking of Naomi, she actually did very well this match. She did a top rope crossbody on all the women on the floor, which that was impressive. For Naomi. Speaking of which, Naomi was eliminated next after she went for a springboard move. Nikki Bella hit her with that forearm, that powerful forearm that's partially a finish, and she went for the pin, but Natalya ran Nikki Bella through the ring post and locked the sharpshooter on Naomi and got Naomi to tap out almost instantly. So now we were down to 4. After a couple more minutes, and my worry about the elimination match was that they were going to give the women about 10 minutes, and then at the end, everyone was going to be eliminated rapid fire style, like rapid eliminations, and it kind of happened here, but it was more spaced out. Alexa was eliminated. A minute later, Naomi was eliminated. The only rapid elimination was when Nikki Bella eventually he hit Naomi with her new finisher, which is TKO, and pinned not Naomi but Natalya. She pinned Natalya after hitting a TKO, and then after pinning Natalya, Carmella, who has been feuding with Nikki Bella, rolled her up for the pin. 1, 2, 3. So now we're down to 2 women left. It was Carmella and Becky Lynch, and I hope to God that Becky Lynch Especially now that she was one of the last two. Nikki Bella got up to walk out, but she was like very saddened. Carmella mocked her on the way out and then pushed her against the ropes, which pissed Nikki off even more than she was already sad. She slapped Carmella in the face. I like that. Then Nikki Bella walked away, and Carmella had this look on her face. And when Becky Lynch came in to wrestle, all Carmella would do is slap Nikki Bella. And I saw her earlier in the match. I gotta say, Nikki Bella. Carmella is the worst striker, the worst hand fist connecting striker of the women's division on both rosters. She's the worst. I mean, it doesn't help that she's unbelievably skinny, so her attacks don't look that effective. But the way she punches, the way she slaps, they look like they don't hurt at all. Not to the other women. So she's got to work on the way she punches. But yeah, after a bunch of slapping, Becky Lynch hit her with 3 exploder suplexes. Carmella got the super kick on. Yeah, Carmella got the super kick on. I guess that's her finisher. The super kick on Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch kicked out. Then, after Carmella, being a heel and showboating, went to Becky Lynch while she was still lying down, and Becky Lynch got her in the disarmer, and got Carmella to tap out. Becky Lynch is your new SmackDown WWE Women's Champion. I gotta say, good for Becky Lynch. Out of the four horsewomen, she was the only one to not win a title. She didn't win the WWE Women's Championship. She didn't win the Divas Championship. She didn't even win the NXT Women's Championship, which was won by all 3 of the other horsewomen: Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Bayley. So I was very happy for Becky Lynch here. After the match, she was interviewed by one of the people. I forget their names, honestly. She called herself Becky Balboa. I popped at that because I love Rocky. And then she left. I gotta say, I enjoyed it. We saw Miz backstage. Apparently, he went to his locker, which apparently was shared by Jagger Eaton, who apparently is the host of some Nickelodeon kids show. Who the fuck is Jagger Eaton? Why should I give a shit? It took me about 10 seconds to realize this kid is fucking annoying too. So, and I wasn't the only one. I could not have been the only one. Jagger Eaton said, "Look, I'm a fan of yours. I'd love for you to be a guest on my show, unless you can get me John Cena." Miz looked irrevocably pissed off, and then Jagger Eaton shut the door in his face. This was pointless. It only made me hate Nickelodeon even more. Next came the second chance match between the Hype Bros and the Usos. The Hype Bros and the Usos. The reason why this match happened is because Chad Gable was kayfabe injured by the Usos immediately after they turned heel. So American Alpha could not compete in the finals at Backlash. So what happened was they gave a second chance challenge to the Usos and the Hype Bros at Backlash. And what happened is, both of them were the losers. The Hype Bros lost to Heath, Slater, and Rhyno, who were in the finals. The Usos lost to American Alpha, who is now injured and cannot compete in the finals. So what's happening here is whoever wins this match will go on to face Heath, Slater, and Rhyno for the new SmackDown Tag Team Championship later in the night. It was a nice, short, little, decent match. The Usos beat the Hype Bros as they should, especially since they just turned heel. And it was a decent little match. They pinned, um, they submitted Zack Ryder with a single leg Boston Crab after one of the Usos kicked Zack Ryder's leg really, really hard. So that leg was kayfabe hurt. We then, after the match, we cut to Heath, Slater, and Rhyno backstage. Apparently, Slater's obviously very hyped up about the match. Then, when he thinks the cameras are off, he goes to Rhyno. He's like, "Dude, my wife Beulah gave me these cupcakes or something. These crab cakes, I think it was. It was crab cakes." And um, and it's like, and he's like, he's got like gas and diarrhea and all that shit. And Rhino's like, "Dude, we're still on camera. We're still live." And Slater's like, "I know that. I'm just messing with you. I'm trying to get you hyped up. Make sure you're not nervous." Woo! And it's whoa. And he's like, "I'll be right back." Rhyno looks at Renee Young. He's smiling. And then Renee Young walks away. And Rhyno's just got this look on his face like, "You just did it." I actually thought that was funny. We had right before his match, The Miz with Dolph Ziggler. The Miz talked to Daniel Bryan backstage. He said he wanted to renegotiate his contract, and was again mocking Daniel Bryan for not being able to wrestle. And he says, "I'll go out there and do what you can." And it's not that I don't like it. It's just that why are they teasing a match with a guy who cannot give it? Why are they teasing a match that can't happen? Daniel Bryan cannot come back as much as I'd love him to come back. He can't come back. So, so Miz came out, faced Dolph Ziggler in what was the second best match of the night. A great match, I must add. This was the second 4-star match Dolph Ziggler had in the last few weeks. The last one was with AJ Styles. He should have had a third one with Ambrose. Something happened there. I don't know what happened. But yeah, it was another great match. Miz is as hot now as he's been hot for the first time in several years, going back to 2010, 2011. The Miz Maurice combo is awesome. Ziggler is starting to get some of that shine back. I mean, 2 4-star matches in a row. I mean, come on. That's the hallmarks of a great wrestler. And it was just a great match. The very opening of the match, Ziggler paid homage to Mickey Gall with his fight with CM Punk, which, by the way, was a destruction of CM Punk. And he got him down on the ground and then went for a rear naked chokehold, much like Mickey Gall made CM Punk, or did to CM Punk. Very earlier in the match, Miz made a slingshot to Ziggler over the top rope. And I gotta say, no one sells a slingshot maneuver like Dolph Ziggler does. This is a great match. The Miz won after Maurice used a spray and hit Ziggler, and he used like pepper spray almost, and sprayed Ziggler in the face, causing Miz to hit the Skull Crushing finale. And 1, 2, 3, Miz is still Intercontinental Champion. Next we had Bray Wyatt against Randy Orton, which never happened because right after the shitty Jagger Eaton segment with Miz backstage, we cut to Bray Wyatt, who was beating on the leg of Randy Orton. Now what happened was Randy Orton was not completely cleared by WWE doctors to compete in the match. In fact, Orton was not getting consistent, you could say consistent positive results concussion tests. In his concussion test, since his match with Brock Lesnar, um, Brock Lesnar, those stiff elbows to Randy Orton's head. I mean, no wonder why he got a concussion. No shit, he got a concussion. I wouldn't. I would probably get a concussion, stay concussed for a while. So Randy Orton, he passed some tests, but he did not pass consistently enough to compete. So that happened, and Bray Wyatt basically in a storyline attacked Randy Orton's leg in order to um in order to take Randy Orton out of commission in storyline. The reason why Randy Orton didn't wrestle, I should say. Bray Wyatt came out, demanded that the referee would count out Randy Orton after the bell rang, which he did. Randy Orton lost. But then they got word that Bray Wyatt would still be wrestling tonight against a mystery opponent, which ended up being Kane. Why couldn't it be anybody else? Why couldn't it be Kalisto? Why couldn't it be Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin? I understand because they had a match on the pre-show. Why couldn't it be Kalisto? Why couldn't it be some other face on the roster? Why did it have to be Kane of all people? It could have been Eric Rowan. I wouldn't have cared. But no, it had to be Kane. And they had, it wasn't a bad match, but it was definitely less than average. It wasn't horrible, but it was mediocre as shit. Bray Wyatt did try. Thankfully it was like a no holds barred match, so it didn't completely stink the bed. It was definitely a better match than their match at SummerSlam 3 years ago. During the end of the match, Randy Orton came out with his leg limping, hit an RKO on Bray Wyatt, which is still a bump, so not good for the head. And then Kane hit him with a choke slam, 1, 2, 3. Kane won the match. So, three things I got out of this. One, Randy Orton may be still concussed, but he's not bad enough to the point where he can at least hit one RKO, even though it's not, you should not do that. Two, Kane apparently got his revenge from SummerSlam 3 years ago. He finally got his win back after 3 years on a pay-per-view. And three, the history books will show that Bray Wyatt lost to fucking Kane. The more things change, some things never change. Next we had Heath, Slater, and Rhyno against the Usos. And it was a good match, but it wasn't the wrestling that people got behind. It was the story of Heath Slater trying to win, so he could finally earn that SmackDown contract. And you know what? That's exactly what happened. Heath Slater and Rhyno beat the Usos after what was actually a nice, solid match. Slater and Rhyno won the tag team titles. In turn, Heath Slater got a WWE SmackDown contract. I know he's running for office. I think as a governor. I don't know what he's doing, but I hope to God that they somehow find a way to keep Rhyno employed while in office somewhere, and that way Heath Slater and Rhyno could still do their tag team because they're just too good right now. Then we come to the main event of the night, which is Dean Ambrose defending the WWE Championship against AJ Styles. Definitely the best match of the night. I have a rating for it. You'll read it down below when I upload this sucker in the inbox. This was a great freaking match. Dean Ambrose's best match, probably in a while. Probably his best match all year. And he's had great matches with the triple threat with Roman and Seth Rollins, the triple threat with Roman and Lesnar, and the match with Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble. But this was a great match. course, the match with Money in the Bank. But this, in my opinion, was his best match all year. Sorry about that. His best match as a singles. His best singles match, I should say. Definitely his best singles match. But then again, it was with AJ Styles. This match was awesome. Apparently the move that the Ushigoroshi that AJ Styles uses, I just looked it up a little while ago. Apparently he named that move in honor of Hiroki Goto, who was a competitor he faced back in New Japan. That's pretty nice. So yeah, that was pretty nice to know. That was pretty nice to see. AJ Styles won the WWE title. That was awesome. AJ Styles beat Dean Ambrose in what was one of Dean Ambrose's, maybe not his best match, but one of his best matches all year. That was awesome. And you've been looking at this. A couple notes here. One, AJ Styles, the face of TNA, one of the big top names of New Japan and Ring of Honor, and was the RPW champion before he left the Indies, walked into WWE and 9 months later, he's the WWE champion. Or 8 months later, whatever. He's the WWE champion. That is fucking awesome. Especially since AJ Styles is my favorite wrestler of all time. Others say Bret Hart. Some people say Daniel Bryan. I say AJ Styles. Another note, and it wasn't until Lundrick, thank you Lundrick for bringing this up, September 11th, and yes I know 9/11 everything, but September 11th, 2016, AJ Styles won the WWE title. September 11th, 2005, AJ Styles won the X Division Championship in a match that was against Christopher Daniels and Samoa Joe at Unbreakable 2005. That can't be a coincidence. If it is a coincidence, that's awesome. Because it'll show that 11 years earlier, AJ Styles had the best match of his career against two really good to great friends of his. And now here he is 11 years after this 5-star freaking classic. AJ Styles won the WWE title. It's almost unthinkable. The match itself fucking ruled. Well, not the match itself may have ruled only because AJ Styles won. And I gotta say, and also, AJ Styles is the first man to win the WWE Championship, the TNA Championship, the NWA Championship, and the IWGP Championship. You can lump in the RPW title in there as well. So, that was awesome. This was a great pay-per-view, guys. 2 great matches, several good tag team matches, an eventful title matches with the new titles. The only downside was Kane and Bray Wyatt. That was the only downside. Everything else in the show was at the very least pretty good. So with that said, guys, it was a great show. I hope to see you next time with my Raw review. Peace.